Welcome to my very first game review. Uh, this game is called Reus, and what it involves is you're basically this planet right here, and you spawn or create 4 giants: swamp, earth or rock, forest, and then ocean. This little crab guy right here. And each of these giants has certain abilities. Mostly involves terraforming, creating plants and animals, and then the rock giant can create minerals. And I have to tell you, when starting fraps, for some reason it gets rid of all the bars that tells like what each ability does, and it gets rid of, you know, village prosperity. As humans come to settle the planet, it'll tell how prosperous their village is up here. And when you click on a building or a plant or an animal, it usually has a bar over here, and I'll kind of talk about that more later. So first we've created an ocean, and that's pretty cool. And there's a lot of stuff you can do. So now that I've created an ocean, I've brought water to lands around it. So now what I can do is, raise a forest with the forest spirit. And as you can see, it can only spread to a certain area because that's how much water there is. See? Oops, sorry about that. The swamp giant can create swamps, as you may have been able to guess. So I'll do that now. And then the rock giant, he can also create a biome. He can create deserts by creating mountains. So I guess the idea is that mountains block moisture, so it creates deserts on either side. I guess technically in real life it would be one side very fertile, the other side deserty, but who cares, it's a game. So now that we have a swamp and a forest, we can use our forest giant to plant some fruit. And for each different biome type, when you plant a fruit, it'll be different for that biome. So that's a pretty neat idea. So you won't be seeing blueberries in the swamps. Now, as you can see, a nomad's coming in. He's going to settle this land because there's resources here now. So now there's a little village. And this village will get different types of buildings as you go along in the game. But it won't, like, extend past these little spikes right here. At least as far as I know. I have not played to very, very advanced levels, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. And then the village borders are right here, so whatever's within these borders counts as resources for them. So this provides food. And there's 3 different types of village. There's swamp, desert, as you can see here that the rock giants created, and forest, obviously. And there's 3 different types of resources. There's food, technology, and wealth. And different resources obviously give those away. And usually forest tribes like to start projects for buildings. Each village will start a project, and you have to have certain requirements met, which usually it tells you up here how to do that. And once you meet those requirements, the building will be completed, and that provides benefits to the village. It also advances you along in the game as well. So another cool thing, and I think this is the coolest thing in the game. So if I take this forest spirit and take each giant has something called an aspect, and what this aspect does is it can upgrade plants. So if I use the leaf aspect of the forest spirit on this, I can turn this blueberry bush into a strawberry bush. So that's pretty cool. Now what I can do with the ocean spirit is bring him over here, and he has another ability besides creating oceans. So we'll bring him over there and do that, and then we'll also bring rock giant back over here so I can show you his other abilities. So as you can see here, he has just created some chickens. So in other words, he can create domestic animals that the people can farm for food. And yep, So if we bring the swamp monster over here as well, I can show you what he does. And this game is so in depth. There's a lot you can do with, and I'll show you kind of what I mean by that later. So if you take the rock giant, he has two different abilities that he starts with. And keep in mind, as you advance in the game, you unlock new abilities. And the way you unlock new abilities is by if a village completes a project, you can get an ambassador from their village, and if you put it on one of your giant's shoulders, then that giant will gain a new ability. So what I've done here is created precious minerals, and that provides wealth to the village. And after a while, over in this corner, there's usually a bar, and this mine will be excavated once you've reached a certain point. It usually gives you some sort of objective, such as for this one it'd be once 10 wealth is in use in the village, then this mine will be activated, and that'll just kind of change its look a little bit and make it a little bit better, give it more resources and stuff. So that's precious minerals. What he can also do is, if I can find it, again I can't see, you can do advanced minerals, and what this provides, instead of wealth, it provides technology. And that's just stone in the forest, and it would be different for other village types. And what the swamp monster can do, or swamp giant, he can summon exotic animals. And in the forest, that is stoats, which is just sort of like a weasel, I guess, a rare weasel, and that provides wealth. It's like selling their pelts or something to other villages, I guess is the idea. And what you can also do is, if you want like a village based off the ocean and stuff, you can even put stuff in the ocean. So you can, and there's not just that type of exotic animal. You can also upgrade that with different aspects, but you need ambassadors to do so. So you see here in the ocean now there's some fish, and yeah, and eventually you can have, you know, multiple villages. I don't know if there's a max. I assume there is, because you can only have so many villages in the area. But if a village advances too quickly, it can become greedy, and then it might go to war with other tribes and stuff. And what you can do then is take your rock guy or your swamp guy, and can I find it? Yep, okay. You can take, and he has a destructive ability, which allows him to do this. Destroy the entire village. So the idea behind this game is, there's three different game modes. There's two, really, that you're going to play. There's Era, which allows you to play for just 30 minutes. And the idea behind that is to unlock achievements, or in this game they call them developments. And these developments will unlock new animal types, new plant types, and new mineral types. And it'll also, I think it also advances unlocks new projects, so that you can unlock new developments and just make your village better. And I'll show you some of those a little bit later. See, this new village that has started its own project. I think that's a church. There's all kinds of different ones. So I can show you kind of different types of animals that'll spawn. If we put it in a swamp, I'm using the same ability that summoned chickens. I think I got rid of the chickens. But anyway, using the same ability that summoned chickens in the forest summons frogs in the swamp. And if we take the forest spirit over here, see, another village is started because I put another resource there. So if I take the forest spirit over here, I can kind of help this village out a little bit by giving it some fruit. And another ability I forgot to show you of the swamp giant is he can create herbs. And these herbs it's just another way of giving the village technology, but in a different way. And there's certain achievements that want you to have a village that's X amount of prosperity, and there's usually a bar up here that determines how prosperous your village is. And but there'll be achievements like have a village that was this prosperous, but with only plants and animals, for example. So you couldn't have minerals that provide technology. So you'd use plants that provide technology to have that be prosperous. And yeah, that's basically all I have to show you. Unfortunately, I haven't played a ton of this game because it is fairly new. Um, but I am enthralled with it. It is a great game. I can see why some people maybe not like it, but see, this mine has been activated, so now there's a guy mining down there. And after 30 minutes, the game ends, and then you start a whole new world. And I guess that feels like starting over, but the whole point is to quickly be able to get new developments, within just 30 minutes time, and eventually you unlock a 60-minute version, which is really nice. And then you can also unlock free play mode, and I think all you have to do to unlock that is just play one version of the era mode, and then you can play as long as you want. You won't unlock developments, but you can create your own world. So I guess once you're satisfied with the amount of developments you have, you can just play your own little world and see what happens. Now I'm going to show you the different unlocks and achievements you can get. So if we go here, we go to unlocks. You can see here are the developments, and you have a rank. My rank right now is 1. I only need 2 more achievements to go to the next level. So some of the achievements in rank 1 are finish an era with a village which has 250 prosperity. And your prosperity is determined by wealth, food, and technology. So one that I've already gotten is finish an era with a village of 150 prosperity using plants and minerals. And there's a whole bunch of different kinds. One is like fishing village. Finish a village with 200 prosperity and 5 ocean patches within its border. And then you come down here to rank 2. And some of them include finishing a village with 500 prosperity and 30 danger. And the way you add danger is by putting dangerous things in the village, which generally involves adding like a predator aspect to an animal so that it changes to like a rat. For example, in the desert village, if you upgrade the exotic animal, which is a tortoise, with the predator aspect, it turns into a rattlesnake, which incurs danger, obviously. So then you go into the 3 stars, and this is the really advanced stuff. So there's such as finish an era with 12 war markers, finish an era with 1250 prosperity, no war markers. And I guess basically what war markers are is it determines like how likely you are to go to war, at least as far as I can tell. I haven't actually gotten that far where there's enough greed where they actually want to go to war, but later on I probably will be able to. So now we go to the interesting part, and this is your sources. This is all the different types of animals, plants, and minerals you can have. So there's salt, stone, copper, agate, which is just a precious mineral, foxes, beavers, frogs, all kinds of different types of animals. And see here, by doing those developments, you unlock new plants and animals. As you can, I don't know how well you can tell, but most of these are grayed out. But I've unlocked deer, iron, and like papaya trees. I've even unlocked whatever a javelina is. It looks kind of like a boar. Eventually you get down to the 2-star, and there's, even cooler animals. There's snow leopards, some Gila monsters, there's even coffee. And eventually you get to 3-star, and there's even white sharks and pandas. If you ever played Zoo Tycoon, then you know those are the expensive animals. There's even blue whales, so that's pretty cool. So then the last page of unlocks has to do with your projects, and these are the different types of buildings that villages will build. So for example, some of them are like shrine, plantation. As you kind of go down the list, there's apothecary, bank, circuses, and then once you get to 3-star, and at this point I guess your village is quite advanced because there's hospitals, laboratories, operas, and it looks pretty 20th century style. 21st century possibly. So I guess eventually, when you advance your village enough, it gets to be quite advanced and less like a, you know, tent village kind of thing. So that's basically the gist of this game. It's kind of hard to show since I can't really see everything, but you get the gist of it. And if I didn't really show it in a good light and failed to do so, then I assure you it is a very fun game. Let's see if I can destroy this village by creating an ocean. I think I can. Yeah, yep. I just destroyed a village by creating an ocean. That's pretty cool. I didn't know I could do that. So there's a lot of fun stuff you can do with this game. If you want to be cruel to your people, then I guess you can. Because they'll just re-establish a village. Thanks for watching. I'm actually going to upload another video, which will be another review, Game Dev Tycoon. And the reason I'm doing it today is because yesterday my sister came home from college and I didn't have enough time to create another video. Plus I'm having audio problems. When you listen to this video, you might hear a little bit of white noise. I'm working on trying to get rid of that, but I am having trouble, so I don't know if I'll ever be able to get rid of it. Hopefully the game music kind of shadows it out. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like if you liked. Maybe subscribe if you really liked. Thanks a bunch.